Dodgers fans, buckle up because this offseason might be one of the wildest ones we've seen in years. There's a storm brewing in Los Angeles, and the front office is clearly gearing up to make some noise. When Andrew Friedman gets that look in his eyes, the one that says he's about to reshape the roster, things tend to happen fast. And right now, every sign points to the Dodgers preparing to unleash their full financial firepower before the new collective bargaining agreement comes into play in 2 years. This could be their last big chance to go all in without major spending restrictions. The Dodgers have freed up a massive amount of payroll, over $80 million, after several longtime names came off the books. Clayton Kershaw, Chris Taylor, Kirby Yates, and Michael Conforto are all gone, and that opens the door for a complete roster makeover. Reports say the Dodgers are ready to be more aggressive than anyone else in free agency. That means they're not just looking to patch holes. They're aiming to build a juggernaut that can chase another championship right now. For anyone who's been following the Dodgers front office over the years, this all sounds familiar. Friedman has never been afraid to think big, and when he sees an opportunity to outsmart the market, he takes it. But this time, it's not just about strategy, it's about timing. With a potential salary cap or tighter luxury tax penalties coming down the line, this might be the organization's last window to spend freely. Rival executives are already whispering that the Dodgers plan to go absolutely all out, treating this offseason like a final shopping spree before the rules change. So what does that mean? It means every major free agent is in play. From superstar outfielders to elite closers, the Dodgers are reportedly ready to explore every corner of the market. Ken Rosenthal mentioned that the team wants to reinforce its outfield, and Kyle Tucker's name keeps coming up as a dream target. Tucker is a player who fits everything the Dodgers love. Young, athletic, powerful, and with years of prime baseball ahead of him. If he hits the market, Los Angeles will be one of the first teams to call. But Tucker isn't the only name floating around. Another intriguing possibility is Trent Grisham, a player who has quietly developed into a legitimate power threat over the past 2 seasons. After blasting 34 home runs this year, Grisham showed that his swing has matured and that he can handle big market pressure. He's not a flashy name, but he's the kind of player who could thrive in Los Angeles. Strong defensively, versatile across the outfield, and with a developing bat that's trending up at the perfect time. Grisham's power surge has drawn attention for good reason. Just a few years ago, he was struggling to stay above a .200 batting average. But this past season, his numbers took a leap in nearly every category. His on-base percentage climbed to around .350, and his overall offensive production hit career highs across the board. Yes, he still strikes out a lot, over 130 times last year, but that's become almost standard for modern sluggers. What matters is that when he connects, the ball travels. He's shown he can play all 3 outfield spots and deliver solid defense, something the Dodgers desperately need after seeing defensive lapses in right field last year. Speaking of defense, that brings us to Teoscar Hernandez. His bat has always been a weapon, but this past season, both his offense and defense took noticeable steps back. His average dropped to .247, his RBI count declined, and his defensive range and throwing accuracy weren't what the Dodgers expected. Fans can still picture that play in the World Series where the ball just sailed past him, a moment that summed up a rough year in the field. Hernandez remains a talented hitter and will likely stay in the outfield mix, but Los Angeles knows they need more stability out there. That's why adding someone like Tucker or Grisham could make a huge difference. The interesting part is how the Dodgers might balance short-term and long-term thinking here. If this really is the last offseason before tougher financial rules, do they spend big on a long-term star like Tucker, or do they look for solid mid-range options like Grisham who won't demand decade-long contracts? It's a fascinating question because Los Angeles has to think not just about this year's lineup, but also about how new CBA rules could impact payroll flexibility down the line. And then there's the bullpen. Everyone remembers how much that area mattered in last year's postseason, and reports suggest the Dodgers want to add another elite closer to pair with Tanner Scott. Edwin Diaz is the name that keeps popping up, and for good reason. Even with some ups and downs recently, he's still one of the most dominant relievers in baseball. A 1.63 ERA, a a whip under one, and an ability to shut down the ninth inning. Those numbers speak for themselves. Diaz doesn't give up many home runs, and in a pressure cooker like Los Angeles, that kind of composure would be gold. If Friedman does go after Diaz, it would signal that the Dodgers are done playing it safe. They're not just looking to fill gaps, they're trying to build a super team that can dominate from April through October. Adding an elite closer, locking in an outfield upgrade, and possibly exploring the starting pitching market. Those are all moves that could set the tone for the next few years. It's easy to imagine a scenario where Friedman and company see this as their last dance under the current rules. Spend now, win now, and worry about the rest later. That's the mindset that seems to be driving everything in Los Angeles at the moment. The Dodgers already have one of the best cores in baseball, but this offseason gives them a rare opportunity to push beyond that, to create a lineup so deep that it feels unfair. Kyle Tucker remains the crown jewel of the wish list, but the front office's creativity means we can't rule out surprises. The Dodgers have a history of swooping in for unexpected names, turning good players into great ones the moment they put on that blue jersey. Whether it's a blockbuster deal or a smart under-the-radar signing, the Dodgers know how to reshape their roster to compete every single year. The energy around this offseason feels different. The whispers, the speculation, the sense of urgency, it all points to a team that's ready to go big. This isn't about making the playoffs. It's about reclaiming dominance. The Dodgers don't want to settle for another strong regular season and early exit. They want another championship parade down Vin Scully Avenue. So as we move deeper into the offseason, every rumor, every report, every whisper from the front office matters. Whether it's a headline-grabbing move for a superstar like Tucker or a strategic play for someone like Grisham, the Dodgers are in full attack mode. The message is clear: no hesitation, no holding back. They're ready to spend, ready to win, and ready to remind the entire league that the road to October still runs through Los Angeles. When you look at where the Dodgers stand right now, you can feel the sense of purpose behind every move they make. The front office isn't just reacting to rumors or chasing names for headlines. They're crafting a long-term strategy that combines superstar talent with sustainable depth. It's classic Los Angeles, thinking 3 steps ahead while still keeping their eyes on the biggest prize. And that's what makes this offseason so exciting. Every decision feels like it could shift the balance of power in Major League Baseball. Let's talk about that balance. Last year's postseason reminded everyone that the Dodgers, despite their depth, still had some cracks in the foundation. The offense at times went quiet in big moments. The bullpen, though solid during the regular season, struggled when the lights were brightest. And the rotation, once their greatest strength, had its fair share of injuries and inconsistencies. Those lessons hit hard, and you can tell the organization has no interest in repeating them. That's why this winter feels less like a typical rebuild and more like a recalibration, a fine-tuning of a machine that's already one of the best in baseball. Starting with the rotation, there's an understanding that the Dodgers need at least one more reliable arm to support the top of the staff. They've dealt with a mix of veteran exits and young arms still finding their rhythm. And while the farm system continues to produce talent, relying solely on youth in a championship chase can be risky. There's a lot of speculation that Friedman might make a splash year too, maybe not with the biggest name on the market, but with someone who brings consistency and postseason poise. If the Dodgers land a pitcher who can give them 180 solid innings and complement their developing arms, that could be just as valuable as a superstar signing. But make no mistake, the headline focus remains on the offense. The Dodgers want to build a lineup that's impossible to pitch around. Kyle Tucker's ability to hit for both power and average, paired with his defensive reliability, makes him an almost perfect fit. If the Dodgers can lure him away, that move alone could redefine their outfield for the next decade. Imagine a lineup that features Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, and then Tucker sliding in behind them. That's a nightmare for opposing pitchers and exactly the kind of balance Los Angeles has been missing since the days when they could roll out a lineup of sluggers from 1 through 9. Trent Grisham, on the other hand, represents a more subtle kind of addition, one that fans might underestimate at first. His defense in center field has been among the most reliable in baseball, and the improvement in his power numbers suggests he's hitting his stride. Players like him often thrive when surrounded by stars. In Los Angeles, where the pressure is constant but the support system is elite, Grisham could finally put it all together. He's not just a filler piece. He could be the kind of spark that brings balance to the lineup and energy to the clubhouse. Another key storyline this offseason revolves around Teoscar Hernandez. Even with his decline, there's a belief inside the organization that he still has more to give. The Dodgers are known for maximizing talent, turning struggling veterans into contributors again. If they can get Hernandez back to his form from 2 seasons ago, when he was crushing balls and driving in runs like clockwork, that's almost like gaining another free agent bat without spending a dime. The coaching staff has a track record of getting the most out of players who look like they're trending downward, and Hernandez could easily be the next redemption story in blue. Then there's the bullpen question. The Dodgers' identity has always been tied to dominant pitching, and no contender survives October without a lockdown closer. Edwin Diaz is the dream name, but even if they don't land him, Los Angeles will hunt for a high-velocity reliever who can command the 9th inning. Tanner Scott has shown flashes, but the front office clearly wants a backup plan, a second closer type arm who can handle the high-leverage moments. A Diaz signing would instantly give the Dodgers one of the most feared bullpens in the league, and it would also send a message. This team isn't just trying to win, it's trying to dominate. What makes all of this even more compelling is how much flexibility the Dodgers have right now. Clearing over $80 million in salary gives them the rare luxury of being able to chase multiple stars without crippling their long-term budget. Add that to one of the deepest farm systems in baseball, and you got a perfect setup for blockbuster trades. They could trade for a star, sign another in free agency, and still have prospects left to build the future. That kind of balance is almost unheard of in modern baseball. Fans know that when Friedman and his team go quiet for too long, something big is brewing. The Dodgers don't operate on impulse. They move strategically, and when they strike, it's usually a game-changing move. The question is who's next. Will it be a splashy, offensive name like Tucker, a solid but underrated fit like Grisham, or will Friedman surprise everyone and focus on pitching instead? Whatever direction they choose, it's clear that the Dodgers aren't content to just stay competitive. They're aiming to redefine dominance in the National League. You can feel that sense of hunger building inside the organization. After all the close calls, the heartbreaks, and the constant expectations, this front office wants another title badly. They want to turn potential into history. Every signing, every trade discussion, every rumor coming out of Los Angeles feels charged with that same energy. The fans feel it too. There's anticipation in the air, that sense that something huge is about to happen. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. Shockwaves are rippling through Major League Baseball as whispers in the locker rooms and social media chatter point to a seismic shift in the league's landscape. Sources suggest that Mike Trout, the perennial superstar of the Los Angeles Angels, has confirmed what many were only daring to speculate: a lightning-fast deal that would see him donning the blue and white of the Los Angeles Dodgers. The news, if true, would instantly reshape the dynamics of the National League and ignite feverish debates among fans, analysts, and rival front offices. Insiders are describing the move as swift and almost unprecedented, with negotiations reportedly wrapping up in record time, leaving even veteran sports executives stunned. The Dodgers, already a formidable presence in the league, would gain not just an elite talent, but a figure whose presence transcends statistics. Trout's combination of power, precision, and charisma could potentially alter the team's offensive strategy while elevating the clubhouse culture. Meanwhile, whispers in Angels circles suggest a mix of disbelief and resignation, as losing a cornerstone player of Trout's caliber would be nothing short of a dramatic pivot for the franchise. The rumor mill is ablaze with speculation over the details of the deal. Some suggest a blockbuster trade, Others hint at creative contractual arrangements designed to satisfy both parties' ambitions. Regardless of the specifics, the sheer speed of this reported agreement has everyone talking. Fans are flooding social media with reactions ranging from ecstatic support to stunned incredulity, while sports commentators scramble to assess how this sudden shift could tilt playoff odds and divisional races. Of course, the timing of such a move is as tantalizing as the deal itself. With spring training intensity building and team rosters shaping up, the potential arrival of Trout in Dodger blue would send ripples far beyond Los Angeles, capturing national headlines and redefining off-season narratives. Whether the deal is finalized or remains in the realm of tantalizing rumor, one thing is clear. Mike Trout's name is once again at the center of baseball fever, and the MLB world is holding its breath for what could be one of the most talked about moves in recent memory. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.